Hey everybody, it's Monday. Michael's saying he heard something in the last 30 minutes on Midas Touch that pissed the you know what out of him. Well, first of all, welcome. It's Monday. It's a brand new week. It's almost a brand new month. That happens on August 1st, which is Friday. No, I was here. I didn't hit the go live button, so I was like talking to myself until I realized I hadn't gone live. I hadn't hit the button. I was kind of on time. Um, we're gonna talk about some things. Okay, so um, we we're in a lot of a big fat mess, right? Let's just say it. We're in a big fat mess in America, but not only in America, in the world. I don't know how many signatures I have obtained. I have not counted them. Um, I'll let you know. I have a whole full day tomorrow to do more signature gathering. With all you guys sending me great vibes, I'll be able to do it. So keep sending me great vibes. I need 75 legit voters to sign my nomination papers to be on the ballot to run for ward counselor in my little to take care of all this mess out there. So, um, I I understand that what's going on in the world is very, very upsetting. What's going on in Gaza, it's always on my mind and it's very upsetting. Um, let's just really pray and intend really hard that the genocide in Palestine stops. I understand how frustrating and upsetting it is when we didn't cause it, we have no control over evil. Um, but we can pray it away in certain ways. So, Michael's saying that he's really angry. He heard something on Midas Touch. A French Canadian was in his boat in Canadian waters. I must have missed something. But what we're going to do is we're going to do this. We're going to do a little exercise, and this is, indulge me. We're going to do an energy exercise. And the energy exercise that we're going to do is this. I'm going to show you how much the news can F up your energy. And I'm not saying not to be aware of the news, but we need to get a grip somehow. We'll get into the cards in a moment. Okay, so I know Michael's upset about something, which kind of brings me to, yeah, let's go ahead and do this exercise that I thought about. I'm going to just say a few things off of a random list, and I'm going to ask you to check in and feel how it feels in your system, in your physical system. Okay? Can we play this game? It won't take long. Okay? And here's the game. I'm just going to throw these things out, and this isn't reality. Some of it is reality, but I want you to think about this. Feel how it feels in your system. Donald Trump thinks he can run for a third term, and he's going ahead and he's taking out the papers to do it or whatever. Donald Trump has installed fascism. He gets to run again. Feel that in your body. Where do you feel it? When you hear something like, oh, they're going to rename the Kennedy Center the Trump Center, where do you feel that in your system? Where do you feel it? Donald Trump is going to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell. Where do you feel that? I'm saying this to make a point. It physically affects your physiology. It weakens you. I know we all know this, but I wanted to just do this exercise so we can feel it. Makes you sick to your stomach. And this is what authoritarianism and fascism does. It weakens you. And so we've got to work on not being all heavy on one end. We need to lighten it up. Okay? Anger in your gut. It's unanimous. Everyone's feeling it in their gut. So, and okay, so then Warren says, I want to open my own country and call it state of chaos. How does that feel in your gut? Everyone's saying it's in their stomach. Let me tell you something. We'll get into the reading in a second. Your stomach center, just below the rib cage, about 3-4 inches, is your solar plexus. That is your will center. That is your power center. The focus on all heavy news and all heavy news and all heavy news and all heavy news weakens your will. And when your will is weakened, you're weak all over. Anger is better than feeling just punched, right? Trump burning all that food. What does that feel like, all right? Now, let me ask you this. You've seen footage, you've seen video over the past several months of huge numbers of people rallying and rising up and making a statement and filling the streets and saying, we're not going to take it anymore. Where do you feel that? Where do you feel that? Maybe you hear AOC give a great speech. Maybe you see Jasmine Crockett going for it. Maybe you see these Democrats standing up, rah, rah, like it's incredible. Where do you feel that? And Jen is saying, I'm Canadian, no one's coming to save you. You have to save yourselves, Godspeed. Where do you feel that? This is why I'm so strict about that stuff. And forgive us, Jen, but it feels energetically like you just stabbed us in the heart. I'm just saying how it feels. So when you think about the protests and people really rising up and people winning, you think about people in history who have been real winners in the past, real peace agents for peace and change. And that's the more powerful energy. Okay? And I reserve the right to call it out when people in the chat are bringing our energy down. Okay? So, if I tell you all that we are going to be okay, because there are millions upon hundreds of millions of people who are rising up, who are willing to rise up, that these fascists are POSs, and we have the power. When I say to you, the American Revolution, we won the American Revolution. Where do you feel that? Right? People like Bruce Springsteen speaking out. Where do you feel that? Okay, I'm done with the where do you feel that game. But I did it for a reason. Because I want everyone to understand that this is a power, this is a fight for our power. And they win our power. They steal our power. Even more than they're stealing our money. They all go hand in hand. They're stealing our power when they've pulled us down and we have no defense because we've left ourselves defenseless energetically if all we do is cave into their crap. And my speech is now over. Thank you for being here. Okay. I mean, I'll tell you a little something too. You know, I'm doing an exercise and going out and running for office, attempting to get on the ballot with enough signatures in a very short amount of time. I could have taken out nomination papers on April 1st, but I didn't know that the people were running uncontested until last week. Okay? So I went through my episodes of, oh, somebody was really vitriolically mean to me. Punch me in the gut. Oh, I just don't feel like I want to go do this. Punch to the gut. And then today I decided to feed myself some positive affirmations, and I actually turned some skeptics into believers, and I sat down with some elders and had a nice time, and I turned it around. But first you got to go through the right? We can get to the other side. I stopped watching Midas Touch as much as I used to because they're getting really, sensationalizing things. So let's pull a few cards about this whole. Let's pull 3 cards about the Democrats. Okay? And I have to tell you, it does feel better to just kind of throw your hat in the ring and to just be engaging. Celtic Seer is saying, have Kathy B look at. Kathy B has not looked at my chart, but my best friend reads charts. And my best friend was informing me the other day that this new moon in Leo was hugely pivotal for me, and I have a yod. I was informed that I have a yod. I'm like, is that contagious? Anyway, I'm not an astrologer. I don't pretend to be, but she said a yod is like people that have yods are attain greatness. So we'll see. Democrats. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm pulling 3 cards about the Democrats, basically about our democracy. Awesomeness is like, what is that? I'm not sure what a yod is. It's a YOD, and I guess really famous and influential people have yods, like gurus and stuff. So I don't know. More on that later. The finger of God yod. Our democracy. We're strengthening in our messaging. So because we started with that exercise, I would love it if you all just kind of checked in, silently check in with yourself when I'm doing a reading. Okay? A yod is a finger of God pointing you in the right direction. Yeah, so I'll find out more about that. But my friend in Nashville literally stopped everything and texted me to say, do you know that this new moon in Leo is like it's gonna make me famous or something? Who knows? We'll see. The Ace of Wands, our democracy. This is about strength in our messaging. And the upside, if there is an upside to all this hell that we're going through with the Epstein files and Dumpy, if you caught any of his video in Europe, oh my God, what an embarrassment. Doesn't really make any sense when he's talking, is all over the place when he's asked about Epstein. But the Democratic message is getting very strong, very impactful. And the women are going to be the ones that defend women. And the women are the ones that are going to make the difference. I would say that we're going to see on the Democratic side, which I would call the humanistic side, the Democratic side talking about these girls, these victims, and the need to have compassion. And it's going to bring that forth in us more and more. And I have the Empress, okay? So I'm reading about the Democrats and where the Democrats are. And I do see psychically more talk about what we should have had, which is Kamala. Let's ask this. I mean, if you ever think about like we could have had Kamala, we should have had Kamala. So there must be some kind of a divine correcting reason why we don't have that. Is Kamala coming back into the public eye? I have a yes. She's coming back into the public eye. Celtic Seer is giving me a a paragraph about what a yacht is, and I'm not able to read that whole thing. It's too much to read. But thank you. Um, I really want us to imagine Kamala coming back onto the scene. Can we do that? Okay, so let's do it again. Imagine Kamala coming back onto the scene. We hear from her, we see her. Like we were a year ago. Does it feel good? Midas touch is just too into the salaciousness and sensationalizing of the whole Epstein thing. Well, all the media is, but I just want to say that this also, and I did, speaking of Kathy, as I was earlier, I sent Kathy a video about this whole sex trafficking ring and the whole Epstein thing having connections to Russia. Remember the golden showers? I know we don't want to think about it. I know that feels like, probably makes you feel sick to your stomach. But I have always said that Putin has that videotape. And I'm starting to think that that video of the golden showers that Dumpy was actually talking to a bunch of high schoolers about during a speech last year. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Since the very beginning, when we heard about the Russian golden showers tapes, I have always thought that they exist. And so the video that I saw today said that Russia has compromising videos about Dumpy. Do they? Yes. We need a celebration of survivors, awesomeness is saying, and that's what I was kind of picking up, is like the people will start speaking out for, we should be talking about the survivors of these heinous crimes. So the question I'm asking here, with the pendulum swinging wildly, yes, is does the Kremlin have compromising videos and probably photos of Dumpy? Yes. 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 What do you think of them apples? One other thing he may be also trying to protect is his daughter Ivanka. How can I put this in code language? All right, I'll say it this way, and I've said it before. I pick up that Ivanka hates her father. And there are some very good reasons why she really hates him, and they're not just because he's a heinous human being. It's about heinous things. All right. Let's simply ask this. Let's ask, what's going to happen to this fascist party? What's going to happen to this party of fascists? Remember I used to call them POFs? Besides POSs? What's going to happen to this fascist party as they continue to try to cover up for Dumpy? What's going to happen to them? Because that's what they're doing. We got to keep our energy up. We are. And that's why we get together. Amy saying that she thinks that he was inappropriate with her. Well, even if you just think about the way he liked to touch young women. Yeah, he was inappropriate with her, right? And even, I mean, the things that we know, like he was on, I think it was some morning talk show many years ago, and Ivanka was about 12 years old, maybe older than that. I might be wrong about that. And the interviewer was asking what they had in common, and Ivanka was like, "Oh, like real estate," and Dumpy said sex. So I'm going to pull 3 cards about what's going to happen to the MAGAs in Congress. You have a new nickname for the GOP, Gang of Pedos. Yeah. Yeah. Visualize casting out the dark forces. That's what we're doing. Yeah, absolutely. That is what we're doing. But we have to see it before we can obliterate it. What's revealed can be healed. What's not been revealed can't be healed. You have to see it to heal it, right? So what's going to happen to the Magas? Three of Swords, stabbed to the hat. Stab to the hat. I've been walking the streets of Gloucester all day, so I see a stab to the hat. Anyway, Gang of Monsters. I like that. That's good. That's true. I wrote a Substack article about that the world sees us as monsters. Anyway, the Magas in Congress, Three of Swords, they're going to be feeling the pain as they're trying to contort things. You can only contort things when you're lying so many times. They're like tripping all over themselves, lying and gaslighting. And it's getting worse. We need to keep our energy high. Yes, we're doing that. We're doing it. I talked about that on Off the Ledge yesterday. Page of Swords. The Magas in Congress have plans to do some real devious things. It's a magician. They're going to be really hurting. They won't know what to do. So they're doing devious things like sending Congress home early for over a month. But the whistleblowers keep coming forward. Whistleblowers keep coming forward. Is Thomas in the house tonight? All of a sudden, I'm looking for a dad joke, and I don't think he's here. The dad jokes help too. Okay, so let's take a look at Dumpy and his heinous trip to Europe. Candace Owens sued. She sued President Macron? I'll ask. Because Macron sued Candace Owens for slandering his wife. Is Macron going to win that? Yeah. What's she doing suing him back? I guess that's what they do. The French president will win. You heard the bagpipes in Scotland were blasting Dumpy whenever he spoke? Yeah, Macron sued Candace. Yes, we know that. And then somebody saying Candace sued him back. But he's gonna... Do you understand what I'm saying? Just making sure there's no confusion before I move forward. Yeah, there's a countersuit. And she's not gonna win. Nothing can stop the people! That's it! That's it, Sandy! See, that's what we're talking about. Eyeball exercise time. Let's choose 3 cards about MAGA Mike. What's he doing on this big fat break? And by the way, the Party of Fascists is attempting to take away all voting. So I'm pulling 3 cards on MAGA Mike. They're just trying. They want to gerrymander the whole country. They want there to be no voting. This is where we are. We can't be pretending that we're just going to be functioning as a regular democracy and trust them to do the right thing, because they're doing all the wrong things when it comes to democracy. So it's really down to the wire. The fascist Republicans, they're not even Republicans anymore. They're just fascists. The Party of Fascists is, as we speak right now, attempting to completely and entirely strip away our democracy. What's included in that is to hide everything to do with Dumpy and Epstein, to make it look like that he didn't even know the guy. Peter Thiel wants no voting. Yeah, well, I keep seeing Peter Thiel arrested, so we'll see how that goes. So MAGA Mike, he's going to try to That guy drives me bananas. Whenever he speaks, has anybody else experienced this? There are certain people that I can't listen to, and MAGA Mike is one, because I just want to jump into the screen and, you know, it's just one lie after another. And he does lies in the most condescending ways as if he's getting away with it. The other thing is, the other person is, there's so many. I was listening to, well, Lindsey Graham is one. When they just start lying stupidly. Lying is stupid anyway. Yeah, right? MAGA Mike? He's just like, well, the American people, the American people, the American people. This is what the American people want. Pull his face off. Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. So right a few minutes ago, I was before I came on, I had some video on. It must have been Midas Touch, and they were just about to cut to Nancy Mace saying something about, what was it? I forget. I didn't get that far, but I cannot look at that woman. They're all sick to listen to. That's why I played the diaper diplomacy videos for you, because at least it makes us laugh. Yeah, MAGA Mike is so condescending. Sagittarians can't lie. We can't lie. We really can't. I hate to tell you that Christy Nome is a Sagittarian, as is is Tulsi Gabbard a Sag? But anyway, a Sagittarius can't lie convincingly, and they are not convincing liars. Back to MAGA Mike. This is the Constitution. He's defying the entire Constitution. The Seven of Wands. It's getting to be a lot of work for him. But let's see if he'll succeed. We're just going to ask if MAGA Mike is going to succeed. Yeah, Marjorie Trader Green is another one. Lauren Boebert. And I just saw that Lauren Boebert's son has been arrested for abusing children in some way. J.D. Vance, right? Think of all the people that you can't even listen to because it's so despicable the way they're lying. Is MAGA Mike going to get away with his? I have a no for with his escapades. I have a no. So whenever you, oh, is that what Mace was saying? That's what it was, and I couldn't even remember what it was because that's how horrifying it was. Nancy Mace says she loves to watch videos of the arrests of people because they deserve it. Yeah. Can you say evil? So every time, yeah, family values at work, right? So every time you see that and hear that, oh, Chelsea is an Aries, okay. Whenever you see that and hear that, you need to counter it with something positive. Turn on, I don't know, there's old sitcoms, there's old comedy shows, there's even like Carol Burnett, there's like whatever you're into, Golden Girls, go back to an old SNL to counter that awful energy of these people. That's kind of the way that we defend ourselves. Ted Cruz, Greg Abbott, they're everywhere. But let's take a look at what's happening with Democrats. And please donate to John Ossoff. Stay on top of the races that are going on. Stay on top of them and donate $20 here and $20 there. We need to save our country. Okay, I'm going to pull 3 cards about you know what, the Epstein thing has been so much in the news. It's like, okay, what else is in the news? I'm going to pull 3 cards about the about our government and about will we get our government back? And I mean people put back in their federal jobs. So that would infer, you know, that this is going to turn around this year. Just speaking of that, so speaking of turning things back around, if you heard any of, and we need to be aware of this stuff, so even though it makes your stomach turn, be aware of what's being said. What Dumpy was saying in Europe over the past 24 hours was so, I don't know that I've ever met somebody as stupid as him, as dumb as him. Talking about how windmills are so dangerous and they're so awful. And, we can fix that by we can drill a little hole in the ground and we can dig for oil. And it was just like, are you in freaking second grade? A second grader is smarter than that. So what we're going to read on is, are we going to see federal workers put back into their jobs? And that includes the climate scientists. Okay, and so what I'm pulling cards about includes whether he's going to get ousted this year, because we can't survive as a human species with this going on. The love of we the people is going to get us through this. Right now, the guides are saying we have to just make sure we reel in the most devastatingly damaging things. For instance, we have Robert Kennedy as the head of Health and Human Services. Pick your battle and just dive in and contact your representatives. If we have another pandemic, we have no protection. If we have massive hurricanes this season, we have no defense and no rescue. So we want federal workers back. So if you affirm it every day, the federal workers are back to work. Who knows? You might be the tipping point, right? RFK Jr. needs to go to hell. You're so pissed. Okay. So after that thought, Electrostorm, this is a teaching opportunity. After that thought, RFK Jr. needs to go to hell. I'm so pissed. In order to make sure that you use your energy to create something different, I know this sounds like woo-woo, but it isn't. Don't just leave that thought there. See him removed. Okay? And 3 cards about him. Let's pull 3 cards about RFK Jr. These people are so heinous. So Rose is saying, how about Dr. Oz, snake oil salesman in charge of Medicaid and Medicare? Okay, Rose, are you going to turn that around or are you just going to leave it there? We're doing a little game here. We're doing a little game here. Because it's like getting up in the morning and going, oh, I feel terrible, and then just leaving it at that. Right? You would want to do something to feel different. Yes. Thank you, Sandy. I know I'm harping away at this, but it's just so incredibly impactful to not just leave it there. We will have him removed. Good. And Electrostorm is doing her intentions. Oh, by the way, if you want those intentions, send me an email at netdion7@gmail.com. We've been doing them for months now at 12 noon. Adjust to your time zone. We say a list of declarations. We've been doing it for months now to get them out. Okay, which horrible person was I reading on? Robert Kennedy. Yeah, I hope you're learning something from what I'm saying because I'm teaching myself too. Speaking of that, I am going to record a course this week for members. It's probably not going to happen until after tomorrow. Rondeau gets out in nature and forgets the chaos. RFK Jr. The strength of our love for each other is going to put stabs in him. And I do feel him really, I feel RFK Jr. really botching something. Yeah. Well, RFK Jr. is mentally ill. There was a time a little while back, maybe over a year ago, that I channeled John F. Kennedy. Might have been during the PNN. He just said it straight out. Robert Kennedy is mentally ill. He's mentally ill. There's such a thing. Yeah, I do feel like he's going to botch something terribly. And we, the people, are going to be so livid that we jump in and activate. Yes, MAGA Mike is smarmy as hell. Absolutely. Wasn't it Carolyn Kennedy who also said he was crazy and the family didn't support him? Yes. Let's ask the pendulum about that. Renaming the Kennedy Center the Trump Center. Evil gets you in the jugular. That's what evil does. Evil takes what you hold sacred, especially the arts and music, and it makes sure that it puts you know what all over it and slings it at you. That's what evil does. Fascism takes away anything of any beauty. And Dumpy was known back in the 80s and 90s. He would take beautiful buildings with historic art, with classic paintings and artwork and, molding and, architecture, and he would just demolish those things. Yeah, RFK has brain damage, yes. Let's read on. Let's ask this. Are they going to change the name of the Kennedy Center to the Trump Center? I just want to remind you that they're doing it to make you extremely upset. How about when Dumpy went after Bruce Springsteen? How about what Dumpy's doing now? He's going after Kamala. He's going after Beyonce. He's going after Oprah. Going after Obama. So Dumpy is doing that to get people who love life and are decent, to get them all bent out of shape, because it makes Dumpy go, oh, look, I've gotten the libs. What do they call it? Owning the libs. We can change it back after, but let's see if that's actually going to go through. Yeah, total racist, right? Is the Kennedy Center going to be renamed the Trump Center? I have a no. I don't know if he can do that legally, not that legal matters to him. Yes. Let's ask if the Epstein stuff is going to sink Dumpy. Is the Epstein? I have a yes on the Epstein stuff is going to sink Dumpy. So now let's read on JD. We're going to read on JD and we're going to read on Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel's in big, big trouble. The Kennedy name has class, yeah, for the most part. Darlene saying, so anything that has class and is refined and has dignity and anything dignified, I can't think of one dignified thing that Dumpy hasn't attacked. Can you? Even the Queen of... Even Queen Elizabeth, he couldn't follow the protocol. Can you imagine it? Can you imagine being a dignitary and having Dumpy next to you during dinner? Eating, I don't know, a Big Mac at a formal dinner? Can you imagine what it would smell like? All right, JD. I'm going to read on JD. By the way, I heard it's going to get really, really hot here tomorrow. How are you guys holding up in the heat? Hey, RFK's voice, can't even listen to it. Yeah, it's really. I know we all feel like we're being punished, but we're in it together. JD. JD is delusional because he thinks he's... I am telling you what. JD is getting all these messages. I don't know from whom he's getting these messages, but JD is getting all these messages that you know what doesn't stink. I don't know where he's getting them. Oh, from Peter Thiel. from Peter Thiel. Oh my goodness, this is ugly. You have wonderful weather on the West Coast. Good. Yeah, we've had wonderful weather here too. It's great. Oh my goodness. Very hot and humid for a lot of you. I'm looking at this and deciphering that. I'm picking up on JD and that. So I'm wondering who's telling him all how wonderful he is. I mean, Sandy was at an outdoor concert with Michael Franti. Had to be canceled because of tornado warnings. I feel like Peter Thiel is telling JD that he's going to be wonderful. Let's ask this. And remember Rupert Murdoch, and remember the Wall Street Journal and all that crap. I'm just going to ask, is JD Vance being told that he'll be president? That's not it. That's not what it is. Well, is JD Vance being told he's going to succeed in some way? That's not it either. What is it? I need some help. Is JD going to divorce his wife? Oh my gosh. I feel like he's going to divorce Usha and he's happy about it. Evil mystery. Vance blackmailed. I'm wondering why people around Vance are telling him that things are awesomely great. Is it financial? Oh, by the way, hit the thumbs up. I forgot to say that. And let me know when there's 200 thumbs up. I've been using StreamYard because the letters aren't backwards. Is JD glad I'm picking up that he's happy about a divorce. Is JD leaving his wife for his couch? Oh my gosh. You guys are up here saying how hot it is where you are. I'm so sorry. I won't tell you there's a nice cool breeze coming in. Oh, I just said it. All right. I'm just gonna go there with a question. Don't get grossed out. How do I say it? I'm just gonna say it. Do Thiel and Vance have a thing? Uh-huh. Is he gay? He's confused. He wants to marry his couch. He's never gonna live down that couch thing. Is he, but I get that JD is bisexual. Okay. Are they in, are the two of them in love? Not JD and Usha. Are the two of them, and the men, are they in love? Yeah, you know what? I gotta tell you, I keep picking up on that. I think he's bi. Teal cheating on his husband with... I can't shake it. Let's read on Teal. What's Teal's fate? Trump may have gone both ways. I doubt it. I don't get that at all. I don't get that at all. But I don't get that. I feel like Dumpy is a sexual predator. Clearly. Doesn't take a psychic. Can either of them love? It's not love. You know what I mean. It's not. No. Peter Thiel is not well. He's stressed out of his head. The moon card, highly emotional. I mean, I think Peter Thiel is a very volatile, emotionally volatile thing. Six of Wands. He is, I get that Peter Thiel is trying to hold things together, but it's too big for him. You know, when you're trying to take over the entire planet Earth, it can get to be too big. And I mean, Thiel is trying to take over all of the human species and turn us all into robots. Maybe you would rather marry a man. You mean JD? Rose has got a dad joke. What kind of shoes do frogs wear? Open-toed sandals. But I'm bummed. You get a bell. Taking donations. Okay, so now we're having a little fun. Will JD and Teal get married someday? Get out. Oh my gosh, it's a strong yes. Let's read on the tough topic, so maybe throw another joke up there. I want to read about, well, these are pendulum questions. They're planning to build a huge detention center in Texas now. Rose is providing the dad jokes. I poured some water over a duck's back. I don't think he cared. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. You feel so bad for Teal? Are you being facetious? Are they going to build that concentration camp? Thank you, Warren, for putting my info up. Okay, so are they going to build a concentration camp in Texas? I have a yes. I have a yes. They're going to. Okay, so does that mean that it's going to really... Okay, so they're going to. They're going to. I'm not getting that it's going to be completed. Will this concentration camp building crimes against humanity be stopped by the International Criminal Court? I have a yes. And with that, I see that the European Union is... What they're witnessing in Dumpy is they're seeing how... I know he uses the word all the time, but how deranged he is. How off the rails, how... I'm telling you, I hope we haven't normalized it. It's insane. He's bona fide insane. And I think that just compiles, you know, it just compounds all the data that these European and other world leaders have on Dumpy. They've never seen somebody in a position of leadership of a country this gone. And I'm even counting like the other, like dictators. Like this is like really gonzo. Carl saying, could the non-USA democracies of the world be forced to band together and fight the Trump regime? If so, could the resulting battles cause a tremendous amount of destruction in America? I'm more leaning towards the... Guess what? We're still in NATO. I'm just saying that as a point. I feel that because Dumpy poses an existential threat to the existence of human civilization on this planet, I wish I was joking, that world leaders from other countries come together and figure out how to stop him. Because this isn't just like, oh, isn't he inconvenient, or isn't he deranged, or those poor Americans. We all breathe the same air, right? You're breathing air right now that maybe somebody in Australia was breathing. And global climate change is the #1 issue on the planet when it comes to human civilization surviving. And Dumpy's over there just yesterday, maybe it was today, but I think it was yesterday, talking about how windmills are evil and how we need to drill for oil. It's game over for the planet if we go further with fossil fuels. Listen to the interview with the Scottish leader, with Brian Tyler Cohen. I'll see if I can find it and repost it. Last night, boy, was it a refreshing conversation with a man who's a leader. I'm not sure who he was in Scotland. If anybody saw that, to just talk to a world leader who's telling it like it is and talking normal. Let's ask about that. Since Dumpy is an existential threat to the survival of planet Earth, I saw a funny post on Facebook today. I didn't save it. I'm sure I wouldn't be able to find it, but it was a picture of Jesus sitting having like a coffee with an alien, and he said, "All right, who's gonna go first? Who's gonna do something first?" That's kind of where we are, right? Dumpy is focusing on Greenland again. So here's the thing, Darren. Oh my God. How long can we do this? We can't do this, and the world can't do this. Let's pull 3 cards about the world. Are we up to 200 thumbs up yet? Because if we are, we'll do a group hug. Did you see Lindsey Graham? As much as I complain about Kristen Welker, she did a good job making him go humana humana humana. What I'm really looking for. Yes, Mary, I do get that the ICC will take Dumpy to court for the case for crimes against humanity. Other countries. Yeah. Yeah, because other countries, in a certain way, they can't sleep at night. There's a madman that, with the nuclear codes. Let's ask you, does he really have the nuclear codes? Did they give Dumpy the nuclear codes? Does he have the nuclear codes? I haven't know. Does Teal want to be the first lady instead of Vance's wife? I think so. August 9th is a national day to strike. I also think that August 1st is something, too. A protest day, maybe? The world leaders are bonding together to be strong to push against Dumpy. Yes, Warren, we got a hug in on Friday. We did. We need 200 thumbs up and we'll do a group hug. 9 of Swords. The other countries are really losing sleep over what's going on. But the strength is there in the King of Wands. There's going to be a person on the world stage that's a real big messenger. A world leader that's going to be a really strong messenger. I'm thinking Macron. But I feel like, yes, I do. August 2nd, protest rage against the regime. Oh, nice. Weekdays work better for me. Yeah, so I asked about the nuclear codes. It looks like the codes were changed. Yes. What are we at for thumbs up? We need 17 more? We have about 8 minutes. I should see if Athletic Brew will give me money for promoting them. My NA beer. So let's ask this. Let's ask what's going to happen to Obama. They changed the nuclear codes the first time. That's right. Pelosi was really nervous about them first time around. What do you call a French man wearing sandals? Philippe Philop. Pretty good, Rose. Good job filling in for Thomas. I know Obama's just a Celtic seer. We know that. We know Obama's just a distraction. I'm just asking what is going to happen with that. That's all. Yes, be a sponsor and get paid. I gotta figure something out. For some reason, nobody wants a reading. I don't get it. I would want a reading from me. All right. The Obama. Okay, so Obama's getting the Eight of Cups is Obama's like being dragged back into the past, which he doesn't like because it was hard enough for him to turn over the reins to Dumpy when all that happened. The Knight of Cups is Obama has massive amounts of security and massive amounts of lawyers. We're going to end early because Michael Garrity has dropped into the chat drastic news. And the Queen of Wands. Obama's going to be okay. It's just really, it's bringing back a lot of old racist, attacks and all that. I mean, these people are humans that have feelings. Right? They're humans that have feelings. Yeah. Okay. I have a ground rule here, and it's this. Please don't do that. If there's a shooting during our live stream, can you please just know that we'll find out afterwards? Please. We can't really take anymore, right? We need to take this time to bring up the energy as much as we can. And we'll have plenty of time to see all the news that we can't do anything about afterwards. All right, I don't think we're going to make it to 200 thumbs up, but that's okay. That's okay. Bad things are happening. And when bad things are happening, our job is to not cave in and let ourselves fall apart. Right? Oh, we just hit 200. Well, that's great. And we have another dad joke from Rose. You're really picking it up there, Rose. How is my wallet like an onion? Every time I open it, I cry. Come on! All right. The world is not running away. We'll be there for all the bad, traumatizing news. I do want to read on Netanyahu's fate because I did start with talking about Gaza and how horrible that is. I can't shake the fact that on that October 7th, when Hamas attacked Israel, which is why Biden went in right after that and told Netanyahu that he'd support him, but that was before everything else came out. But when that October 7th attack happened, which is basically Israel's 9/11 moment, so horrible. I can't shake the seeing having a vision of Netanyahu like out of the corner of his eye, like he knew that it was going to happen. So he's a monster. Yeah, thanks. We'll do a group hug now. But I'm just going to pull 3 cards on his fate, Netanyahu's fate. And I have for years seen him arrested. Is Barr in hospice? Bill Barr? That would not surprise me. If you find out, let us know if Bill Barr is indeed in hospice. It might just be a rumor, but I wouldn't be surprised. I'm sure he's going through a lot of stress around this Epstein thing. So Netanyahu is in bed with, it looks like with Putin. It will come out. The 9 of Pentacles. It's going to be a while, but I feel like Netanyahu will be held accountable. No, he's not. So Bill Barr is not in hospice. Maybe it was somebody else. We did not have a group hug. We're gonna do that now. Yeah, yeah. So remember I showed you the cover of that book entitled "Proof of Conspiracy." Is that what it's called? Yes. Check that one out. It'll explain all of it. It's a big, heavy book. Hello, 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 hello. Yes, he planned the whole thing. Platinum Arena is saying. Haven't seen your name here before. Yeah, Netanyahu. After that happened, and it surprised me because what's going on in the Middle East, the history of the Middle East is so complex that I didn't really understand it at the time, and it took me a while for things to kind of like unfold and to see why I had that vision. But I was very surprised when Hamas attacked Israel on that October 7th that I saw Netanyahu. What I got was he already knew it was going to happen. Yeah. All right. So much to read on, so little time. Just breathe, right? Yeah. Yeah. Netanyahu needs to go. He needs to be. I mean, they used to execute people. I'll just put it that way. Netanyahu was warned and he ignored the warnings. No, he knew. It's worse than that electric storm. He knew about it. It's my psychic impression. I reserve the right to state my psychic facts as I see them. We're going to do a group hug, and we're going to think about what the group hug is going to be. We want this whole fascist regime ousted. And we want to see the people rising up in such huge numbers so strongly that all their shenanigans are shut down. All right? And Netanyahu is taken down. And let's think about the people of Gaza. I know that they did airdrops of food today. I'm sure it was not nearly enough. Some horrible things going on. But we're going to lift the energy, and we're going to know that on the other side of all this darkness, the light is stronger and brighter and just way more intense. The light and love is stronger and brighter and way more intense. So let's do a group hug. Ready? And lift up anyone who's suffering. 1, 2, 3. Lifting us all up. I can feel that. Thank you. So awesomeness. We'll get into that about the food drop. Yeah, they're really messing with the people there. Hope and joy. I know it doesn't really probably help us, but heinous things are always going on in the world, and we're in a time where it's just kind of accelerated. But on the other side of this, there is great light and love. Before we go, please watch Church of Spirituality. I put so much energy into that service. It's spiritually uplifting. You get an energy transmission from the church service. I promise you do. I'm just a channel. And one of my most fervent prayers is to grow Church of Spirituality. If you're a member, my next presentation will be a 5-day presentation with short videos of how to be powerful. And please continue to send me vibes. Tomorrow is my final day of a very short span of time to get 75 legit signatures to be on the ballot here in my city. If for some reason it doesn't happen, I'll just know that I'll have to do it again in a couple of years. All right? And know that all your donations, your memberships, and especially booking readings helps this channel to stay afloat. Sorry I have to promote myself, but I do have to promote myself just because I got bills to pay. All right. Okay. Thank you, and love you lots, and we'll see you soon. Thumbs up, subscribe. Namaste. Have a great night. See ya.